So, check this out. A couple nights ago, I was watching Thor Ragnarok. That's the one where he had to fight his sister. I forgot what her name was, but she was the antagonist throughout the film. And I'm pretty sure most of y'all seen Thor Ragnarok. But when she broke, it was one part where she broke his hammer. After she broke his hammer, like he didn't even know what to do, and he had to go to like this spiritual realm to talk to his dad, Odin. And he was like, "Man, I don't know what to do. Like she broke my hammer. I don't even know how to like use my powers without my hammer." And that's when his dad told him, he was like, "Are you the god of hammers or are you the god of lightning?" And Thor, he kind of had to realize that everything special about him, it didn't come from the hammer. Like he already had it inside of him, but it took him a while to like learn that because he was just so dependent on his hammer. So in a sense, he kind of based like his whole identity within that hammer. But once he noticed and once he learned that the hammer wasn't what made him special, like he almost got like more powerful after he realized that. And that had me thinking like, dang, how many times in life do we base our whole identity in something, like something materialistic, or not even materialistic, like it can be a job or how much money we make. And I know for me, and this goes for like every athlete, like I used to kind of base my identity in, how well I played or how many points I could average. And there'll be like some teams I played on where I'll be like the last dude on the bench, and I kind of feel like, I didn't really bring nothing to the team, or I kind of felt like I was useless in a sense because I couldn't help the team the way I wanted to. And so whenever I be in a situation like that, compared to when I play on a team where I was like the first or second option, like I noticed I had a different sense of confidence, if that makes sense. And like my whole identity would be, but not my whole like identity, but I see like most of it, it'll be based in like how many minutes I averaged or how many points I would average. And we do that a lot in real life. Like we get a job or we start making a certain amount of money, and we kind of make that like our whole identity. And then when we end up losing it, we don't even know what to do because we made our whole life revolve around that money or around that job, or it can even be like a relationship or something. And you don't realize how much you depended on it, or you don't realize how much you leaned on it until you lose it. And then after you lose it, you just kind of feel like you're not worth nothing. Like how Thor felt when he lost his hammer. And this kind of go back to my last video where I was talking about like sitting with yourself and really like just taking that time out to learn more about yourself. And sometimes we kind of have these crutches where we base our whole identity in something that we could obtain. And for me, like on a spiritual aspect, I kind of had to learn that when God made us, like God already knew us before he made us. So we don't even need nothing to like give us a sense of identity because it's already in us. You know what I'm saying? So even if you do get that job you want or that relationship you want, or you start making the amount of money that you wanted, like that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying don't go for that. Like ain't nothing wrong with that, but don't make that your whole identity, or don't make that what your life revolves around. Because a lot of times we end up losing it. And once we lose it, it's kind of like where do I go from here? And I feel like, in my opinion, sometimes we gotta lose certain stuff because that's just gonna propel us to the next level. And sometimes that thing that we hold on to, it can hold us back. And not even like materialistic stuff. Like it can be like fear, anxiety, or it can just be like your friends, like your friend group. Like they can be holding you back. And that's another thing too. Like a lot of us, we kind of base our identity like in our friend group, where we kind of don't make decisions for ourselves, and we just let the other person in the friend group make all the decisions. When you look at it, or when I was watching Thor, and I seen how after he lost the hammer, like the journey he had to go through after he lost his hammer, it took a while for him to realize that the hammer wasn't what made him special. Like the thing that made him special, like his powers, like the lightning, the thunder, and all that stuff, like it was already inside of him, and he didn't even need the hammer. And there's one part after he lost his hammer, he was fighting the Hulk, and that was like the first time that he saw, or that was the first time that he realized that he didn't need his hammer. Because at the end of the fight, he like charged up, and he hit the Hulk with some type of move, but he just charged up like all his power, and he pretty much he packed up the Hulk. I ain't gonna cap. Like he got out the banner up out of there. But after that happened, he was like, dang, like my dad was right. I don't even need my hammer. But it was like a one-time thing, and he had to do it a couple times for him to realize that he really ain't need his hammer. And towards the end of the film, where he was fighting his sister, what was her name? Helen. Yeah, I think it was Helen. Helena or something like that. Yeah, he was fighting his sister. And so she was talking trash and all that. And she was like, I'm the god of something, something. I forgot what she said. And she had asked Thor, she was like, what were you the god of again? And she was kind of like taunting him in a way. Because she didn't even know that. She didn't know herself that he don't need his hammer. And so that's when Thor, he kind of like got in his bag a little bit. And he was like, I'm the god of lightning. And he just charged up again. Like the same thing he did with the Hulk. He just charged up. And he got her up out of there. She got packed up. And from that moment on, that's when Thor knew that he didn't need his hammer. And so to correlate that with real life, like once we lose that thing that we were so deep in, or once we lose that thing that we kind of based our whole identity in, that's when we start to realize that we don't even need nothing. Everything we need, or everything that our identity is supposed to be based in, like the way that God made you, with like no attachments or nothing like that, like it's already inside of us. We just got to do the work. We got to rely on what's inside of us and not rely on, outside factors. And like I said, for me, it was kind of like that validation with basketball. Like how many points can I average? How well can I play each game? And I'm just not realizing all this. Like even with the acting stuff, like sometimes I kind of feel like my confidence drop a little bit if I audition for a role, like I don't get no call back or nothing. And this is something that it ain't just gonna start happening like overnight. Like it's probably something that everybody gonna deal with like the rest of their life. But whenever you having that thought, or whenever you having that, crisis with yourself, that you kind of feel like your identity is being challenged because the outside factor isn't working in your favor. And that's when you got to remind yourself, like, it don't matter if I get that role, or it don't matter how many points I average, or it don't matter if that relationship don't work out, or if I don't get that job, or if I'm not making the type of money I want to make. That don't define you, or that don't define like who God made you to be. And if you want to know your true identity, you gotta go back to my last video and how I said just spending more time with yourself and really just getting to know yourself and learning who God created you to be. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole topic of this video. Don't rely on outside factors. That's pretty much the whole topic of this video. Like, don't rely on outside factors to give you confidence. Like, your confidence, it should be based in just knowing the person that God made you to be. And then once you learn that, and once God see that you're confident within yourself, without having to lean on like outside factors like relationships, money, titles, status, and all that, that's when you start to like make movement and make improvements like in your life. Again, like how I said in my last video, like spending time with yourself, like it's really fun. Like the more you practice it, like the more fun you be having. Like look where I'm at right now. I don't even know where I'm at for real. Well, I know where I'm at, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just exaggerating. But yeah, y'all keep that in mind. Your confidence or your identity, it's not based in, what you can obtain in life. And I'm not saying don't set goals for yourself. I'm saying whatever you want to accomplish, like you can do that 100%. But if it don't work out the way you plan for it to work out, or if you find yourself on a whole different path, like me, then that don't mean that you failed. And it's really the complete opposite. Like, a lot of times things don't work out the way you think they would, but it's not a fail, or it's not you failing. It's really you going on the path that you meant to go on. And once you stay on that path, like it'll start to make sense for sure. For all my MCU fans out there, like do what Thor did. Like, if you lose the hammer, just stay on that path and stay on that journey. And then sooner or later, you're gonna realize that you don't even need the hammer for real. You're gonna learn that your identity, your whole identity, is not based in one object or one outcome that you was hoping for. Like everything that makes you special, or everything special about you, like it's already inside of you. And you don't gotta do no extra work to make other people realize that. Like whoever see your worth for what it is, I'm saying that's good. But whoever don't see your worth, like you just gotta let them miss out. And a lot of times people do see your worth, but sometimes people, they don't be comfortable with themselves, and so they try to make you feel like less of a person. But that ain't got nothing to do with you though. That's just them projecting their insecurities on you. So stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. Learn more about yourself. Your identity, or everything that makes you special, your confidence, it's already inside of you. And we don't need outside factors to help us realize that. Once we learn who God made us to be, that's all we need for real. So yeah, y'all stay safe. I appreciate whoever watching this, or whoever been tapping in with my vlogs. I'm saying I appreciate y'all. And yeah, on to the next one.